I slowly round the corner, and the wind nearly knocks me off my feet. All around me, people are dropping like flies. Up ahead, I can see a guy being carried off on a stretcher. And I wonder briefly if I have it in me to snap my own leg and get me out of the situation. How did I even end up here? Mile 18 of the Chicago Marathon. I'm not even a runner. Because I'm a dumbass. That's exactly how I ended up there. It's true. This is definitely not the first time I bit off more than I could chew. In fact, that's kind of my specialty. It always plays out the same way. First, inspiration. In this case, when my best friend finished her first marathon. Then, a vision. The two of us, matching outfits, crossing the finish line, holding up our medals. Sure, people try to warn me. They always try to warn me. Michelle, you hate to run, and you don't have the time to train for such an endeavor. Details. I don't concern myself with those. So I show up on race day in my matching outfit, but an important detail I failed to anticipate is what 30,000 runners might look like crammed into a city block. And this was in the land before cell phones, so I couldn't exactly share my location with my friend. I spent 5 miles searching for her before I realized that I'm going to have to do this race all alone. By the time I hit that 18-mile wall that experienced runners talk about, I couldn't hate myself more for being so naive. I think about my family that came all this way just to watch me fail. The shame of saying I just quit. Ugh, I'd rather die. And it's looking like that's a real possibility at this point. I can't feel the lower half of my body, so I start negotiating with myself. You know, maybe it's okay if you quit. You've run further than you ever have before. Let's just call it a day. I'm all alone in this stretch. All I can hear is my unsteady feet hitting the pavement until I'm sure I'm hallucinating. But no, up on the corner, there's a guy with a boombox over his head playing the Rocky song, Eye of the Tiger. Suddenly, I snap back into the moment. I train my eyes to just a few feet in front of me and I step to the beat. Just a girl and her will to survive. By the time I look up again, I'm at mile 19 and I found my pace, which was barely more than walking, but I didn't come this far to only come this far. I finished the rest of the race that way, just one foot in front of the other. I never ran another marathon, but that wasn't the last time I found myself at mile 18. A dark night of the soul, those times in our life when you're all alone in a situation that you are ill-equipped to handle. I've experienced mile 18 at work, when I started a business I had no business starting. In relationships, when I thought things were going one way, but they actually went another. Even in a health diagnosis, that'll truly push your will to survive. Certainly, it's not fun and it's not pretty, but your mile 18 is going to teach you a lot about yourself. For starters, when you do more than you think you're capable of, you're going to find out you're capable of a lot more than you think. I didn't know I could run a marathon until I showed up one day and did. The well-meaning people in your life, they're going to call you crazy when you attempt these things. But you should know that you will finish a lot of races that other people don't even have the guts to start, if you're just willing to put one foot in front of the other for as long as it takes. In these moments, something magical will happen. It's happened every single time in my life when I thought I was knocked down, just like Rocky. You can trust that at mile 18, you'll be able to dig deep when inspiration shows up. And I promise you, inspiration will always show up. With a boombox if necessary. And you will find a way to keep running. You'll find your will to survive.